Hey y'all, come on. I know I'm running late. I'm running late. Um, not gonna make excuses, but I had an emergency I had to take care of, and family duty call. You have to answer, and I understand when things happen, it happens. But nevertheless, I wanted to come on because I wanted to share some things. We do not have a host during this hour, so let me do a few housekeeping before I just jump in. For those that do not know who I am the visionary of this podcast. I am Angela Thomas Smith. I'm an author, podcast host, magazine editor, publisher, publishing coach, consultant, you name it, I wear it. I'm also one fourth of the servant leaders prayer line. My prayer besties, Pamela J. Hayes and Shaniria Osborne, our overseer, Dr. Apostle Kimberly Thomas. Um, just a little bit of what I do. For those that do not know, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know I'm running late. I know some of you guys were probably expecting me at 8, so I do understand if you catch this as a replay. I'm not going to be before you very long, but I came on earlier today and I said I was going to be talking. Um, we actually talked about fear on our prayer line this morning. That was the lesson that we talked about. I've always said that a lot of us, we don't fear failing. It's success that a lot of us fear. And I just, I just come to encourage someone um, that just may be going through that may be procrastinating, that may be thinking that they don't deserve to be where they are, or however you may be feeling right now, that will keep you in a state of walking into that you should be walking into. Um, and that allows fear to set in when, if we are believers, and most of the people that follow and support the things that I do are believers. But if we are believers, the word tells us that he did not give us the spirit of fear. And if he didn't give us that spirit, then we shouldn't be operating in that spirit. We should believe that word when he says that all things work together for my good, and that all things are possible through Christ Jesus that strengthen me. A lot of us need to be reminded of those scriptures, and sometimes we just need to repeat them to ourselves. You know, if we need to go as far as jotting down scriptures and placing them on sticky notes and posting them around so that we can see them and we can begin to recite them. I ain't always knew a lot of the scriptures that I know now off by hand, and then still some of them I paraphrase because I don't know them word for word. But you find those scriptures and you meditate on them scriptures and you let them get down in you, and you allow them to become life. And then when you begin to speak those things over your life, you will begin to see those things happen. This is nothing that nobody told me. It's something that I have experienced myself. You know, I used to hear people say how good God is. You know, until I began to go through things, until I began to experience things, I really didn't understand what they were talking about, because up until I began to go through, I never knew. I heard people say that. I believed it because that's what I knew of what other people said. But when I began to go through things, I'm thankful that my mom, my aunt, and all those that sent me to church, that put me in vacation Bible school, that put me in Sunday school, and put that fear of God down in me, so that when I heard his word, when I began to hear his word, those things he say, we would know his voice, and a stranger's voice we would not follow. So a lot of those things that were instilled in me even before I even knew you know, what they were. Because I tell you, a lot of times I would go to my great grandfather's house, and he was a preacher, y'all. And it's like we would be done went to church. We could be done went to church that Sunday, go to his house. We have church all over again. And that was every time. I don't care what day or week you went there, what time of day you went there. You did not leave until he preached a sermon. He and it's just conversation to him, but before you left there, you got some word down in you. And I'm grateful for that, because I know it's those prayers, because they say the fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much. And I truly believe that it's those prayers, my prayers of my grandmother, my great grandfather, my great grandmother, my even my mother and my father, and those that prayed for me that's no longer here with me. I believe that it's those prayers that are working in my life, because it's truly nothing that I've done, and I say this all the time, and I want people to get this. You know, we often say that we're calling on the ancestors, and y'all, they've already let them rest, because the ancestors, let them rest. Like they really, y'all, they can't do nothing for you but speak to your spirit. So let them rest and allow them to continue to speak through your spirit through memories. Y'all, that's why you create memories, so that they can speak to your spirit. Those memories will speak to you. Those things that you've done with them, those things that you hold tight to you. Y'all, when you go through, they will begin to speak to you. Those things will begin to be life to you. And then you will be able to press on. Y'all, and these are things that I'm learning as I go through the grief process. These are things that I'm learning as I deal with losing different family members, because y'all, every time it's different. And then when you go in your stage of grief and your stage of going through, sometimes you may be missing one loved one, and then you may start thinking about another one, and then it just may become a ripple effect. And it's okay. Have those moments. I have them often. I may appear to be all together and just okay and okay and okay, but know that, y'all, we all got stuff that we go through. Nobody is perfect. That's what we got to understand. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. Even leaders make mistakes, y'all. Because guess what? They are humans like you. It's just that they have elevated to another level. They're on another level, and you can get there too. You know, the more you do things, the more you continue to allow him to work in your life, you begin to elevate. As you say, you may be being mentored by somebody or coached by somebody, as you begin to develop your skills and develop your different things and develop your circles, then one day you're going to branch off. You're still gonna be friends, you're still gonna be in connections, you're still gonna be attached with your mentor, your coach, or whoever, but you're gonna have your own flock that you're gonna have to lead. Because your coach or your mentor or whoever, they have to elevate to another level so that you can elevate too. And then when you elevate, those that are under you have to elevate too. Y'all, it's just we just keep elevating to a different level, because y'all, this journey that we're on, we don't know what it is. We don't know what is mapped out. So as we go through, as we experience, we just got to be willing to allow him, the Holy Spirit, to lead, guide, and direct us, so that we can stay on the straight path. But then we got to understand too, there comes that free will in there too. And we got to understand, as we decide which way to go, if we go left or right, then we got to know the consequences gonna come, and we got to deal with those consequences. So that's why sometimes we may get distracted, we may get off course, but then we know that he's always gonna get us back on course. But I tell everybody, try to stay the course. If you can stay the course, stay the course. Let me do the thing, do the work, so that you can stay in alignment, so that you can stay in place. Sometimes we may feel like that things are not going as fast as we want them to go. Sometimes we got to just stay the course. We can't stop because it's not moving right then. Sometimes we got to get put in some work. And when we put in that work, then you'll see the fruit of your labor. Not all the time. Like I'm one of those people that I don't buy followers. I don't buy all that buy into that, buy this to up your YouTube and up your TikTok and up your followers. I want genuine followers. I want those that follow because they enjoy our content, that they enjoy what we're sharing. They want these nuggets. They want to truly know who we are. So that's why we put in the work. Sometimes we may not always be on time. We may not always even be able to do our shows when we're supposed to. Then that's when I come in. Like today, we don't have a show. We don't have a person that holds down the first and the third Sundays. So individuals that want extra shows, they pick up those days, and if no one picks them up, then I usually come on. um I may start running some of our previous shows because y'all, we've been on this is our third season, so we have content that I can share from previous shows, that those that weren't following us or didn't get to see the lives, they can see some of these things. So know that we're going to have content going constantly, because how do you get seen? How do you get heard? You have to be visible. People have to know who you are. You can't stay in the background and think that someone is going to know who you are. And you can't think that they're going to drop out the sky and say, oh, let me go over there and see that podcast. If you're not sharing it, if you're not engaging, if you're not putting it out there, how do people even know you exist? A lot of us, even, I say this all the time to a lot of people that I come in contact, that they shy away. They don't like to do interviews. They don't like to do lives. They don't like to, be in front of the camera for what reason or another. But we have decided that we wanted to be authors. We wanted to be creatives. We wanted to, you know, do those things that are going to bring us in front of the spotlight, that are going to put, it's going to put a bullseye on you. You got a book. You have something that somebody wants to hear, that somebody needs. We didn't get these things and these opportunities because we just happened upon them. No, you were preordained. That was a part of you before you even were conceived in your mother's womb. Yes, some of us had to go through some things in order to be able to put the book out and be able to tell the story. We really had to go through some things. But guess what? He already knew we was going to go through those things. He already knew that we were going to have these books. He already knew that we were going to have these podcasts, these magazines, everything. He already knew. We didn't just happen upon these things. Sometimes some of us go about the wrong way of getting into the things that we get into. But because of the God that we serve, he loves his children. He'll allow us to go through some things, but he'll still watch over us. He'll still keep us safe. He'll still cover us while we get it together. But y'all, the most important thing is acknowledging that we can't do this alone, that we need him, and that we're on this journey only because he allowed his grace and his mercy. Some of us could have been dead and gone, but because of his grace and his mercy, and it's because of the things that we have done and the things that we have brought upon ourselves, because a lot of the stuff that a lot of us have gone through and endured, it wasn't because of the enemy. And see, we give the enemy too much credit. And we got to stop giving him credit, because guess what? When the word tells us that the enemy is dead, he's under our feet, he don't have no power. Y'all, we got to stop giving them power. We give him that power by acknowledging him, by doing all those things. No, we got to start owning that we have allowed to fester in our lives, and we have allowed these things to come up and to come to pass in our lives. And a lot of times, y'all, we do it to ourselves by what we say. A lot of us we speak things over our life. And sometimes we don't intentionally do it. It's just that we just always we just so used to speaking a certain way. And it's all about changing your mindset. It's all about changing the way you see things. When you have different perspectives, you can see things different. You know, I look at, and I have to say this because I'm not the only person that battle depression. There's other people that battle depression. You know, I battled it for 15 years, didn't know what it was because no one ever told me. No one ever, even said that that may be something that I was dealing with. But when I went through some other things, I was diagnosed with manic depression. I was diagnosed with a couple of other different things. But now that I know what these things are, y'all, guess what? We can deal with these things. We can handle these things. Yes, I had to go to therapy. I had two therapists, even I had a psychologist. I had to know, I had a psychiatrist. So I had to see the psychiatrist and I had to see my two therapists. Y'all, I had to see my therapist about one of the therapy sessions that I was having. But anyway, y'all, I endured that because guess what? When I found out that something was going on with me, and while I was having all these different things going on, then I wanted to know what was going on. So when we know things are going on, y'all, when we know better, we do better. And as we walk into these things, y'all, as we walk into a lot of the things that we're coming into, y'all, once you come into those things, it's not just for you to sit on. Like a lot of the doors that open in your life, they're open so that you can do the things that God has called you to. Because y'all, there's people depending on you. There is a whole generation, people that haven't even been birthed yet, that are depending on you. So now it's the time for us to be putting in the work, to be putting in so that we can think about those that are going to come after us. Y'all, how are we going to leave this world? Do you want to leave this world better than you found it? That is one of the things that I ask everybody. I'm asking everybody that hear this. What do you want? How do you want to leave this world? And what do you want to leave with this world? Like, do you want this world to be better than it was to you? Do you want things to be different than it was for you? I do. I want everybody that say that racism is not racism. I want them to show it instead of saying it. Show it. Like right now, we need to be, the whole United States need to be Missouri, the show me state. They need to show me by action and not just by words. Because a lot of us, we got a lot of lip action. We got a lot of mouth work. We got a lot of get going on, but we don't see no action behind that you're doing. I don't see you hosting no podcast. I don't see you interviewing on no podcast. Even if you don't want to host, I don't see you showing up at nobody else's podcast and being a panelist. I don't see you showing up in person and being a part of the panelists. I don't see you coming on your lives and just going live and just talking about what it is that is in your spirit. Like a lot of us, we got so much. Like for the likes of me, if you got more than one book, I don't care if they are anthologies, but some of us got 10, 11, 12 anthologies that we've been a part of. We've yet to do our own book. Yet we know that there's something that we're supposed to be sharing. Know that there's something that we're supposed to be putting out into this universe. Like, get your vibration going. Get that you're supposed to be. Like, people are waiting on you. People are depending on you. There's people out there that are going through, and they are going through things that you have been through. And it's your voice, it's your message that's going to bring them out. But yet you think because, hey, who am I? Don't nobody want to hear this. All this stuff that we play because we're afraid of walking into that we supposed to be walking into. Because if you're hearing this, know that it's not by coincidence, it's not by choice, it's not by happenstance. But you're supposed to be hearing this because you're supposed to be doing something other than what you're doing. And it's time for you to walk into that because there's people that are dependent on you. There's a whole generation, even people that have not been birthed yet, that are dependent on that message that is inside of you that need to come forth. Yes, people need to hear it. You didn't get dropped out of the sky. God He strategically placed you in your mother's womb. Because if we go back and we read statistics and we understand that how many sperms that actually die before they actually make it to the egg to fertilize the egg. So guess how many other people could have been you? But yet it's you that survived. It's you that came forth. It's you that was given the opportunity to impact lives, to be that change. Y'all, we got to truly understand what that life that he breathed into us is all about. Like he say, love our brothers and our sisters. Understand what that L stand for. Love our brothers and sisters more than we love ourselves. Like he not just talking about your natural brothers and sisters. He talking about our neighbors. Those strangers, those people that we don't know, those people that we pass in the street. Like some of us have hate for people that we don't even know. People that we've not even come in contact with. Why? Because it's something that we've been taught. And y'all, it's up to us to break this generational curse. I love that on the other network that I am a part of, WBNN, shout out to the host of U-Turn. She is very transparent and she talks about her life. She's in a interracial relationship. She is Caucasian and he is Black. They live in Arkansas and she talks about everything. She's so open and transparent about it. She's giving people an opportunity to truly see that what everybody have to deal with, and it's a choice. And she chose to love people for who they are, people. She didn't choose to love color. She didn't choose to love race. She didn't choose to love it, your ethnicity. She chose to love people. And just so happened the person that she fell in love with just happened to be of the African descent. And she is sharing her journey openly. If y'all can, please go over to the WBNN and check her out. Um, I tell you, amazing show, amazing show. You definitely will get some things from it. I definitely been learning some things. She dropped nuggets. You know, if you're in Arkansas, she definitely keep you abreast of things that and different businesses that you can and should not support for different reasons as well. But a great opportunity to see what is going on. And these are the conversations that we need to have, y'all, because a lot of these things are affecting people. You know, we have my family is a diverse family. We have people from different nationalities in our family. So we don't see race. We don't see color. We don't see none of that. We see people. We see love. We see, how can I look at my cousins? How can I look at my nephews? How can I look at those that are interracial? That are half Black and half white? How can I look at them and have hate for either one of those races but love my nephew? It is impossible. I cannot hate either race and love my nephew, because then I am a hypocrite and I am, going against the word of God. Because he tells me to love my brothers and my sisters. He didn't tell me to love a white race. He didn't tell me to love a Black race. He didn't tell me to pick a race to love. He told me to love my brothers and my sisters. He didn't say about race. So that I have to be reminded of, and we have to be reminded of. Y'all, it's a choice. A lot of things that happen in our life, we got to understand that we are subject to anything happening. Because if we read the Bible and understand that those experiences that they went through, guess what? We're not exempt from those experiences. We're not exempt from anything that they experienced back then. We are still accountable for stuff that they did too. Y'all, everything works together for his good. Remember that. And we as people, we just got to try to be the best version of ourselves every day. And I say, if you show up for you, the best that you can show up for you every day, then that's all you can do. That's all you can do. But some of us, we don't even show up for ourselves. But we got to show up for ourselves, y'all. We can't keep expecting something different, but we're giving out the same. We got to give out something different. We got to do something different so that we can see something different and we can begin to move. Y'all, people are dependent on you. Know that. If you are a visionary, if you are a leader, if God has dropped in your spirit to do things, y'all do them. If you don't know, now he's placed you amongst people that you can ask. Like, a closed mouth don't get fed. Nobody knows what you need or desire if you don't open your mouth and say something. He says, seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be given. Knock and it shall open. So just as the word said, y'all, you got to apply that to your life. If you're looking for doors to be open, you got to go on those doors. You got to go to them doors and you got to knock on them doors. If you're looking for opportunities to open up for you in your books, in your brand, guess what? You got to knock down some doors. You got to get on some interviews. You got to get on some podcasts. People got to know who you are. You can't just sit in the background and expect people to know who you are. And you can't expect other people to push your brand. You are your brand. And if you sit still and do nothing, when opportunity presents itself, then guess what? You're going to continue to get the same results. And guess what? People are going to continue to pass you by. And one day, you're going to wake up and you're going to realize that I should have listened to all those signs that were dropped in my face and in my spirit. I should have listened. And I should have took heed, because I could have been a whole lot more advanced than where I am. Don't look at the person that is telling you. Don't think that, oh, they still in the same place, because guess what? They're not. But they're staying where they are because they know that there are people that they're supposed to be reaching before they can go to the next level. And they don't want to end an assignment before it's finished. They want to complete the assignment. They don't want to half do an assignment. And see, that's what some of us got to do. We got to give it 100%, even when they're not showing up. I don't care if 2 people show up. If 2 people show up, then guess what? I'm going to do what I got to do, like as if it was 200 people or 2,000 people. Because guess what? He said one could do 1,000. That's what he said. And 2 could do 10,000. So guess what? Them 2, we can reach 10,000 people. So guess what? Then those 10,000 people that we reach, guess what? They can share it with somebody else and we can reach 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, and they keep going. So don't worry about how many showing up, how many not participating. Because guess what? When it comes out and they see the final product, then they'll wish they had did it. So go ahead, move forward. Don't depend on people. Because you came in this world by yourself, and guess what? You're going to leave by yourself. But just try to bring as many people as you can along the journey. Just try to pay it forth with as many as you can. So that when you stand before him, he can say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Y'all, I thank y'all for tuning in tonight. He didn't give us a spirit of fear. We got to know who we are. So take some time to find yourself. Fear, find yourself. A lot of us can't move past where we are. We can't be successful because we've allowed that ego to come in, and we have a ego issue. E in fear. We have gotten to a place where we have gotten comfortable, content with the ego. And not only do we have an ego, we got an attitude that go along with the ego. So now we need to find ourselves. We need to let go of the ego. We need to loose the attitude so that we truly can walk in that stage of renew, reset, so that he can release you to do the things that you're supposed to walk in success, to be successful. So if you want to let that fear go, F, find yourself, let the ego go, loose the attitude, allow him to reset you, release you, and reset you. Y'all, it's time. It's time to renew your mind and your heart, in your spirit. So as he renew you, you're going to reset. You're going to be a new thing in him. So he's going to give you a new identity. He's going to allow you to find yourself. So all that you've been walking in, that ego and that attitude, he's going to loose it so that you can find yourself. That is renew, reset, and then he's going to release you so that you can do the things that he's called and purposed you to do. I hope that you guys have been blessed by something that I've shared on tonight. And I hope that you would allow yourself to go from a stage of being fearful of whatever it may be, but to conquer that fear and to walk in it, because y'all, he's purposed you for this. If you're hearing this, know that it's not a coincidence, that it's something that you're supposed to be doing, that you have a purpose. So walk in it. Success is yours. And if you want it, you got to go get it. Y'all, nothing new is falling out of the sky. Nothing new is happening under the sun. Everything that he said was going to happen is going to happen. But you got to believe it and you got to walk into it. You got to you have to do the work so that the things can manifest. Faith without works is dead. So I love y'all. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for our Power Monday morning motivation. Y'all, we're probably going to continue the topic. All right. I will see y'all then. Y'all, it's time to shift. It's time out for playing. It's time to shift and allow him to do what he said he would do in your life. A lot of us been called to do a lot of things. So walk in your destiny. Catch up with that you're supposed to be doing. All right. Y'all be blessed. I love y'all. And thank you for tuning in. And I will see you guys later. Tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Okay.